My Love at First short story series explores different levels of intimacy and types of relationships in different spaces. I focus a lot on being in nature, our relationship with being outside, outdoors, and also it could be two people in a romantic relationship or two friends traveling together. When I read romantic stories in the past, I always loved those moments before and right at those first encounters. So I focus a lot on short snippets of people's lives which deal with new experiences. But I also want to bring in those points in relationships that are comfortable. Not everything can be passionate, not everything should be lonely, but the different colors of love on that spectrum of relationships that we all have, whether we are excited to see a friend that we haven't seen in a long time, or a new type of partnership in a work environment where you have people on a team that you really get together and do great things. I also want to touch upon in some of my short stories that even when we have lulls in relationships, whether they're friendships or romantic relationships, that we may still love that person. It just may be that we need time alone. I like this concept of the beautiful invisible and bringing that out in the short stories. All the subtleties, all the nuances, all of the shapes and forms and patterns that you can pick up in silence, whether it's right in front of you or behind your eyelids if you shut them for a while, if you're sitting in the sun, bringing those to the forefront when usually they're ignored completely. When I write Love at First short stories, sometimes I use a photograph and enter the photograph and create a dreamscape between two people. Or maybe just one person thinking about another person. Sometimes it comes from my imagination, and writers most likely think about how long their writing will last, and I envision my short stories, whoever picks them up in the future, to read one of my stories, and then maybe somewhere close to home or when they're traveling, a scene from one of my Love at First short stories will remind them of this place. So it actually becomes a real place for them. Also, when I've written Love at First, sometimes I use a memory from my own travels, and I enter that space again, but change the experience either in a romantic way or also just retracing my steps and bringing along a travel companion. Way, it's similar to a poem that my great grandmother wrote, Love Long, right? Love carries forward.